Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie and this is flosstube number 75. My last few videos were really long, so normally I do videos of around 30 minutes and my last few videos were all around 40 to 45. So I was really hoping to have a shorter video today, maybe only 20 minutes or something like that, because I did not stitch on a whole lot, and with my new rotation I don't have to tell you about challenges. And then I prepared everything that I stitched on last week and that I plan to stitch on next week, and realized there's rarely a project that I stitched on last week and will stitch on next week or this week once again. And I prepared everything and realized it's basically a WIP parade. There are 3 WIPs missing. All the other WIPs I have lying next to me because I did stitch on them or will stitch on them this week. So yeah, I don't think it will be a shorter video once again. Maybe next week. We'll see. I'm still participating in quite some challenges, in one challenge, which is the March History Sprints of the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group. So basically, during March, there are 20 events linked to one date during history. And they tell you what happened that day and then give you a theme. And I decided to match the themes and stitch on those projects the day this event happened. So last week there was only 1 project happening. I think this week there will be 5, something like that. So yeah, that adds to all of those projects lying next to me. But yeah, not a fast one. But it will be the first video this year with a page finish, which is pretty amazing because we're close to 3 months into the year. And last year I did a lot of full coverage stitching, therefore I had quite a few page finishes. Yeah, this year that's different. So this will be the first video with actual page finishes. And I have to adjust, yeah, we'll do that later. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's only 1 page finish. I had hoped for a second one, but did not get that. But you'll see in a second. So let's start with my trouble stitching or out of the house stitching, however you want to call it. Basically, whenever I leave, I have a bag of needlework stuff with me. Normally, I have 1 knitting project, 1 crochet project, 1 non-full coverage stitching project, and 1 full coverage stitching project in this bag with everything I need for that. And when I feel or when I have the time to do some needlework, I can do whatever I feel like to do. If I have not a whole lot of time, I can go with my non-full coverage cross stitching. If I have quite a bit of time, I can do the full coverage cross stitch, and so on. So basically, I have a good variety of stuff I can do as soon as I'm out of the house. So yeah, that's basically it. This week I did not do any knitting or crochet, so yeah, at least that's not at the end of the video as well. Okay, let's get started. Out of the house stitching, my non-full coverage piece is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, and I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. I'm presently stitching in band number 8, which is a specialty stitches band, and I have finished this stitch completely down. I think it's called head spread stitch, something like that. Super strange name. And now I will, with the thread that's still on my needle, will start with Smyrna crosses. So yeah, here we go. I bring it a little bit closer. It's stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen, and I'm stitching 1/2 with the called for dinky dyes. There's a conversion for Overa's raw dinky dyes and DMC, and I decided to go with the dinky dyes. And yeah, that's where I'm at, and I'm really happy that I finished this stitch with this color. The stitch will be another time at the end of the band in another color, and it takes so much thread. It takes so much time, but not a whole lot of space. So yeah, quite a bit to do with this one, but I'm really happy how it's turning out. And yeah, that's that one. Hopefully this week I can start with some Smyrna crosses. That will be pretty amazing. And After I did Smyrna crosses with this color, one time down there, I will move into the next color and do Smyrna crosses over there. And then, when I have done all of those, I am, with the color I'm presently stitching on, I can fill in the enlonged Smyrna crosses, because those will block some holes that I need for the Smyrna crosses in other colors. Yeah, it's going to be complicated and a bit of counting, so that's why I did not start it yet. But yeah, looking forward to actually continue stitching on this band, because as soon as I have finished this band, band number 8, I will have reached my last year's goal. So being able to do that during March would be pretty cool, because that would mean I get it done 3 months late and not even later. But we'll see about that. Okay, and then my full coverage treble stitching got a whole lot of attention last week, because basically I had 2 half night shifts, which with those I start in the evening, which means there's quite a bit to do of the daytime stuff, and while working, not a lot of stitching time. But it goes until 2 o'clock in the morning, and basically after midnight, there's not a whole lot happening anymore. So that means around about 1.5 or 2 hours of cross-stitching time. That's pretty nice. So that's when I brought out my full coverage piece, which is Mini Magic Mirror by Having Enough Designs. The artwork is by Anne Stokes. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. Super happy with this one. This is the only project I started in the top right corner because I wanted to try a different method, and I realized I did not like the method. So basically I'm now taking the next color on the page and finishing one length of thread and then moving on to the next one. Doing all the colors first, and as soon as I have done all the colors on the page, I will move to black and just fill in the page with black. So on my second page, which is page number 3, I had finished, or during this week, I finished all color stitches and then started with black. So basically this part down here and this part in her head are still missing. The rest is done on this page. So 1, maybe 2 lengths of black and this page will be done. I was really trying to get it done and I did not make it, but yeah. With the remaining color stitches on page number 2, as I said, I'm stitching as long as my thread goes. So I moved quite a bit over here in this page, and even in page number 1, I think there are 30 stitches missing till the end of the piece. So that's pretty nice. I did quite a bit more down here in the mirror. Yeah, so basically a good start on my third page. This is stitched on 28 count 2 over 1/10 stitch. Needleminder is from Just to Heavenly. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one, and I'm hoping to finish the page this week. That would be pretty nice. I'm not sure if I will get the time, but I would love to get to this piece and actually finish the page. That would be amazing. But yeah, she is beautiful. I love her very much. It's turning out amazing. I just love the details in the mirror frame. That's amazing. Yeah, Mini Magic Mirror. As I said, super happy with this one. Oh, it will come out this week at least once. So hopefully I will get a page finished then. I will show this project to you once again in plans. I think I said that a few times over the last few videos. It's easier to make or to tell you everything I stitched on during last week first and then move on to plans. It's a bit more separated and it's easier for my brain to wrap around. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so last week Whipgo weekend ran through to Monday. Whipgo weekend basically means Whipgo is a bingo board with all your whips on. And every month 2 of those projects get called, and during that month there will be one weekend where you set yourself a goal for those 2 projects that got called, and yeah, just try to finish your goal. Last week Jessie Marie Dustup, who runs the group and who kind of invented Whipgo, posted quite late, and I was super happy about that because I needed the Monday to finish my weekend goals. So my 2 projects for Whipgo this month. The first one is Story Keep the Frog Prince, charted by Haven't Enough Designs, artwork by Melanie Dallin. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I still needed 300 stitches for that one, so I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So this one is stitched on 32 count ice blue linen and stitching 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Bankai Designs. And basically I did a little bit more than 300 stitches as I'm stitching in those 10 by 10 blocks. I wanted to finish the block I had started, so I did, I think, around 350, 360 stitches and just finished this block. So I'm getting closer to finish the diagonal, which is pretty nice. And especially because moving into the next diagonal, I think I will reach her crown, and then one diagonal after that, I will reach her hair. So I'm finally getting to something. That's pretty nice, and I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, at the moment, it's just background, but I like it pretty much. So, and I'm getting closer to the right-hand corner. I think 4 more blocks or something like that, which I'm not sure I will reach this year, but yeah, you can always look forward to something. It's going to be a big piece. There's even more fabric down there, but I do love it. So yeah, I finished that on Monday. I reached my goal for Whipgo, which was pretty nice, and yeah, I like that a lot. And then I moved to my second piece that I needed for Whipgo weekend. Still needed 200 stitches for Whipgo weekend. I did 100 already the Friday before. And then on the 17th of March, I needed this project. I'm talking about Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Artwork is by Amy Stewart, charted by Haven't Enough Designs. And I did stitch on this 200 stitches for Whipgo weekend. And on the 17th of March, which I think was Wednesday, I did stitch another 150 stitches actually for the March history sprints, because on the 17th of March 1753, the first official St. Patrick's Day theme Green Ireland rainbow. It's quite green over here. There's rainbow colors up in here. So yeah, that kind of fit. So basically about 350 stitches on this one. So I share a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So this is stitched on 40 count, 1/1 10 stitch. And again, I'm stitching this in 10 by 10 blocks. With this one, I just have to do it that way because there's so much confetti in there. I would go crazy if I would do it otherwise. The needleminder is from Lakeside Needlecraft, and the reason why I did 150 stitches for my history sprints instead of 100 is that I just wanted to finish this column, which I was able to do with 150 stitches, or the diagonal, sorry. So next time I stitch on this piece, I will start the next diagonal up in the top, which is pretty amazing. And I'm really happy with how this is turning out. You can see now all the leaves on the stone. That's the shelf, of course. And yeah, I can't wait to move back up here. There's not a whole lot of confetti. It's kind of funny. Up till around here, the confetti is okay. And then it gets really confetti heavy until I'm down in the shelf. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But I love how it's turning out. I really do. I do not need this project anymore for March history sprints. This was basically the project when I did not know what to stitch on. I was sure to find something on here. But I don't need it anymore, so that's pretty nice. I think I did around 600 stitches for the history sprints and an additional 200 for Whipgo weekend. Which means I only have around 1,700 stitches missing till I reach my year-end goal. So that's really nice, and I'm really happy with this project. Yay! Yeah, that's Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. that's been all my Whipgo weekend, and that's also been all my March history sprints for last week. So that's pretty cool, actually. So now let's move to my normal rotation. I told you about that last week. I'm just going to recap. Basically, going forward for my rotation, I will have 5 projects every week. One project I stitch on every day a little bit, which most times will be a fancy lady that I'm trying to get closer to my year-end goal, as 2021 for me is the year of fancy ladies. That's just kind of fitting. One project will be, and all the other ones will rotate in alphabetical order. So one will be a fancy lady, non-full coverage. One will be a non-full coverage project. Any non-full coverage project, as I said, I'm rotating in alphabetical order. So it can happen that there are 2 fancy ladies and once in a week, or maybe even the same project. Then I will have one fancy lady full coverage piece and one full coverage piece that can be fancy lady, doesn't have to. So yeah, that's basically it. For last week, my daily piece that I stitched on every day a little bit was Cinderella Rags to Riches by Joan Elliott. And with this one, I'm stitching the combined patterns, and this year I want to finish Cinderella in rags, so I'm concentrating a lot on her. And I was going for 120 stitches every day. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to, and I'm super happy with this one. This is stitched on 28 count casual linen by Picture This Plus in the colorway Fog, and the needleminder is by Dankai Designs. And basically I finished all her hair, all her skin over here. Her arms will have some more skin, so yeah, I'm going back to that. I finished backstitching her cap, and I started backstitching her dress over here. I did a little bit more of the crannic in here and over here. I did stitch a little bit on the window and the greenery in the back. And then I started beading. So I have a whole lot of beads up in here and over here as well. So yeah, pretty happy how far I got. I did exactly 840 stitches, which basically is 7 times 120. When I did a little bit more one day, it was fine for me to do a little bit less the next day. So yeah, exactly 840, but I did quite a bit, and I'm super happy with how it's turning out. And yesterday, when I was basically done with stitching, I did the beads last, so that's why in the evening I still had it out. I decided to concentrate on the window next, just finish up that part, and then I can actually concentrate on her and move further down. There will be a little bit more crannic over here and further down, so I can start with the broom. But yeah, that's her, and I'm super happy how she's turning out. I really love it. Yay! That's my Cinderella Rags to Riches. Or basically Cinderella in rags. Yeah, she's pretty. Now her head looked a little bit strange with having her cap stitched and her hair wasn't stitched yet, but now it looks pretty amazing. I love it. I really do. Super happy. There's a whole lot of crannic in here, and there's still a whole lot of crannic missing. But yeah, I will get to that. She is beautiful. Yeah, that's been her. Next, let's move to my fancy lady for the week. I did not do a whole lot on her. That's the fancy lady for the week. It was Raven Queen by Mirabilia. I'm up in here in the corner, and I just want to move a little bit further down over here. So I showed a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So basically, I did a little bit more in the framework, and then I started filling everything up in here. So that's all done. And next I will move further down in here, because then I will start with the crannic that is in there. She's stitched on a 32 count gray linen, and I'm stitching 2/2. Needleminder is from Dankai Designs. And I also started beading on her. So the framework is beaded. So I did all those beads up until here. So yeah, I did that as well. And I'm really happy. Bring it closer so you can see the beads. Can you? I'm not sure. A little bit probably. But yeah, she is beautiful. And as I said, oops, sorry. I finished the top part over here. So moving further down and yeah, soonish, hopefully, being able to move into her face. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, that's my Raven Queen. She is beautiful, but considering that I'm stitching on her for 1.5 years now, there's not a whole lot done. So I have to get going on her, but I don't know. It's sometimes with bringing her out, I'm in kind of a boring part right now, so I don't feel like stitching on her as much. So I think I have to get into her face and do her face, and then it feels a little bit better, and I will make more progress, I hope, but we'll see about that. Okay, my non-full coverage project for the week was Sleepy Hollow by Glen & Place. That's what it's going to look like when it's done, and I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. Not as much as I had hoped. This is stitched on 28 count casual linen by Picture Plus in the colorway Haunted, the needleminders from Denka Designs. And I did start really slow into the week, which basically meant on Saturday I still had my Cinderella Rex ridges for Saturday and Sunday. I had not stitched on Raven Queen yet, and I had not stitched on Sleepy Hollow yet, and my work week started. So less time and quite a few projects still to do. So I did not do as much as I had hoped, but I finished the bed over here except for backstitching. I did a bit more in the tree over here and over here. I did not backstitch the tree as well, and I had started with one length of thread in the moon. Because I was at a point where I finally could backstitch the tree. And I looked at my chart once again and realized I should probably first stitch the moon around those branches over here before I can actually backstitch. So I started with the moon. And I had hoped to have a little bit more time yesterday to actually do a little bit more on the moon, but I did not get to this project yesterday. There was just no time left, so I did nothing more. But yeah, I'm still happy with how this is turning out. This year I want to finish the first row of pages, but there's quite a bit still missing in the tree and a lot missing in the moon. I have to start the horse because the page break is around here. So there's quite a bit to do. And yeah, I think around here. So yeah, quite a bit to do. But looking forward to it. It's turning out really cool and I really like it. But yeah, still a whole lot to do. But this one will probably come out a lot during October because it's probably, together with Raven Queen, those are my only Halloween projects. So yeah, probably going to stitch a little bit more on it during October. Okay, let's move to my Fancy Lady full coverage piece, which for me this week was Dragon Dancer, artwork by Anne Stokes, charted by Haven & Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done, and then up here in the tree where everything looks the same. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is the project with my page finish. Woo! It's my fourth page finish on this project, and I finished page number 3 over here. So this is stitched on 32 count 2/1 10 stitch, and yeah, I finally finished this page. I was hoping for the page finish for a whole lot of time, a really long time, and it just never happened. And now it finally did. So next time I stitch on this one, I will move down here, which I think is page number 14, to do those diagonal pages with this one as well. I took one color that was still missing, took one length of thread, and finished the color over the whole page. If I had still some thread left on my needle, I either worked it in real fast in page number 4 because it was right next to the other part, or I moved down into page number 14 because it will be my next page and I can already start stitching on it now. So with one length of thread that was only in here, I moved further down, stitched a little bit in here, and then I moved down here. And I think I did 1 or 2 row more than I actually on the page, so the page break will be here. And that means I have finished this color on this page already. But what is the more exciting part, okay, now I have to search, okay, is that I have actually reached this part down here, so the end of the tree. That is pretty cool, and I'm really happy about that. That's pretty amazing. So yes, this page will be a whole lot of pink once again, but moving into that page, it will finally stop being pink. But yeah, the dragon, I will only reach that, I think, in this page, so not happening this year. But nevertheless, I'm making progress, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, this is Dragon Dancer. As I said, it's not super exciting. Yes, it's the page finish, which is always exciting, but it's not a super exciting page finish because there's not a whole lot to see. It's blurry background. And I can't wait to actually get into the pages with a whole lot of confetti, which I normally don't look forward to. With this one, I actually do, because it will mean I get actually see the picture and the motif of the picture and of the artwork. So looking forward to that. Okay, that's Dragon Dancer. And that's everything I stitched on. No, it's not. Of course it's not. I had one full coverage piece that was not a fancy lady this week, which was Colorway Mountains by Golden Kite. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done, and I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I'm at right now. So basically I had one column started over here, and I decided to finish that column and then leave it be. Finishing this column meant a little bit more than 500 stitches, so that's a pretty good goal as well for 2 days of stitching, so I'm happy with that. This one is stitched on a 25 count 2/110 stitch needle minder, is from Dankai Designs, and with this one, if the color goes further along over the column lines, I just feather along with it, and I feathered along and I actually hit the next page. So I will do 2 more columns in here. That will mean a page finish, because the page basically means there's 1 column left and 2 stitches. So I will do 1 column, and then I will do those 2 stitches together with the other 8 that are on the next page, do the column of 10, have my page finish and a good start on the next page already before I move down here into this page. Because again, I'm doing diagonal pages on this one. But yeah, it's pretty nice to have a lot of sky in those pages or in those columns, because the sky is or has way less colors than the mountains have, so it's faster. So yeah, that's pretty nice. That's what I did. I'm really happy with how this one is turning out. Yes, in those darker places you can see a little bit of the fabric through, but if I'm hold it back here, you can't, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, here we go. I'm getting closer. I'm now a bit more than a third done. So that's pretty nice, and I'm hoping to finish this one next year. That would be pretty amazing. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, Colorway Months. And now that's everything I did stitch on last week. Now let's move into plans. There are a few projects you have seen already, but a whole lot of new projects as well. So we'll get through this. I have no idea how long this video is already, because I do it in sequences. But yeah, this one is going to be a long sequence. So let's get started. Let's get started first of all with my normal rotation. So my 5 projects I will stitch on during this week as part of my rotation. First one, the daily project. The project I will stitch on every day a little bit will once again be Lilac Fairy. It's a kit by Whipgo. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using this one a lot for those daily projects or weekly projects because I want to finish her this year. And it would be pretty nice to finish her before the 9th of June because that will be her 2-year anniversary and birthday. And to finish her prior to that would be pretty nice. But yeah, that's what she's going to look like when she's done. And I show you where I'm at. So this is where I'm at with her. She stitched on 14 count Lilac Ada 2/1 except for the background, which is stitched 1/1. And I'm going to continue in the background over here and maybe moving into the background over there before I actually stitch her dress. So yeah, this is Lilac Fairy. Looking forward to stitching some more on her. Yeah, that's that. With those, I'm going to roll them all those other projects that I stitched on during last week. I do not roll them up during my video because at the end of the video I take pictures of what they look like. So next week I can show you a picture of what they looked like last week or last time you saw them. Those that I have not stitched on during last week I will roll up because then it's way easier to clean up and I actually have space to put them somewhere. And I do not have to take a photo, so I can do that. Okay. For my non-full coverage Fancy Lady next week, I will use Royal Games number 2. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And this year I want to finish the Queen of Diamonds up in here. So I'm stitching a lot on her. And last week I did quite a good amount of progress. Or last time I stitched on her because I used her as my daily piece. So this is where she's at right now. So I will move into the borders of the card. I will move into her staff and into the diamond and the Q. Diamond and Q over here to finish her from top to bottom. I probably will not be able to finish all of that during this week's rotation. But yeah, just stitching a little bit of that will be pretty nice, and I'm looking forward to that before I move in her dress. So yeah, that's Royal Games number 2. Royal Games number 1 I have finished last year. If you want to check out my older videos, you will see that there. Okay, now my non-full coverage piece that does not have to be a Fancy Lady this week will be Tiger Chilling Out by Dimensions. I'm not really sure how I'm going to stitch on this one or what goal I'm going to set myself for this one. Because my normal 2 days stitching on a piece is not possible with this one because with this one I need daylight. So in the evenings I cannot stitch on this. But yeah, we'll see. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this year I want to finish the top half, which cuts through approximately here, and I just have to finish his head. So I show you where I'm at, and with this one I need to have something in the back because it's stitched on an 18 count Black Ada at the moment, 2/1 the water, and the reflection will be 2/1 as well, but half stitches, and over here it's full cross. So yeah, as I said, I just have to finish his head. Going to continue in this column over here. Not sure how much I will do or what I'm going to do exactly, but that's going to be the goal. And the needleminder is from Denka Designs. So yeah, looking forward to stitching on this one as I'm kind of getting closer to my goal, but we'll have to see how I'm able to do that considering the daylight. Probably not going to be just a 2-day rotation or something like that. But I have to see how I do it. We'll see. We'll see about that. Okay. My Fancy Lady full coverage this week is Story Keep the Frog Prince. You have seen that already a little bit earlier in the video. I think at the beginning. It's started by Heaven and Earth Designs, the artwork by Melanie Dallin. As I said, you have already seen this one before. I'm just going to show you real quick once again. I'm going to continue in the 10 by 10 block diagonals. Most likely finishing this diagonal and maybe moving up in the top and starting the next one. I said it before, 32 count ice blue linen 2/110 stitch needleminder by Denker Designs. Here we go. As you have seen it already, I'll show you a little bit shortly. The next one is my full coverage piece. That does not have to be a fancy lady, but as I'm going through it in alphabetical order, it is a fancy lady this week as well, and you have seen it already as well. It's Dragon Dancer, Ultra Pan Stokes, showed if I have enough designs. As I said, you have seen it already, so going through it a little bit faster. Stitch on 32 count white swaggered linen, 2/110 stitch, and I'm starting on this page down here. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, and that's my rotation. So now we're moving to history sprints, and that will be the last. I explained it at the beginning of the video, just going through it once again. History sprints, 20 events in March that happened during history, and I'm choosing the theme that is provided and stitching on this project that fits the theme the day that event happened during history. So today I will have to stitch on two things. First, 22nd of March 1457, the Gutenberg Bible became the first printed book, theme books. And one thing, with every project I want to stitch 100 stitches. So, theme books, well, I have to stitch on this one. This is a supersized max color cliffhanger. Artwork is by Amy Stewart, charted if I have enough designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm presently stitching in page number 3, which is up here. So I show you where I'm at. And this is stitched on 40 count 1/110 stitch as well. And basically I just have to fill everything that is outlined over here with black. Super fast, probably just going to take one length of thread, which will be way more than 100 stitches. But yeah, then I don't have a part thread or dangling thread over here and just finishing the thread. Yeah, looking forward to that. That's about. Normally on this project with one length of thread, I get a little bit more than 300 stitches. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Okay. Wait a bit. Sorry. Second one that I'm going to stitch on today for the 22nd March 1903. Niagara Falls runs out of water because of drought. Theme, body of water. Body of water, I'm going to use Norwegian Ship Under Sail, the small edition, because of the ocean down here. It's by Golden Kite, I probably should say that. And yeah, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. So I show you where I'm at with this one as well. This is where I'm at. It's stitched on an 18 count Ada 2/1/4 cross. Needleminders from Denker Designs. I'm presently stitching on page number 3. And I'm stitching this one in columns, so I'm taking the part threads in this column and just going to stitch those in until I have my 100 stitches. I actually used this one for 2 of those challenges in the March history sprints before, and I still have so many part threads in here, it's just crazy. But yeah, it's turning out really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to stitching some more on this one. And maybe actually getting in the sky. Instead of all those stitches in the sails. But yeah, this is Norwegian Ship Under Sail for Body of Water. And then tomorrow on the 23rd of March 1903, the Wright brothers obtain airplane patent. Theme, something that flies. That was complicated. But, just checking if I'm right. Yeah. I decided to go with Mini Magic Mirror. I have enough designs started with Ben Stokes. You've seen this one already before. Well, she has wings, so she probably can fly. I mean, it's only her reflection, but yeah, I'm going with that one. Because I do not have any other fairies or stuff like that. At least not that I know of, and I did not want to take Supersized Nightcrawler Once Upon a Fairy Tale once again, so I decided to go with Mini Magic Mirror. So, as you have seen this one already before as well, I'm going through it a little bit quicker once again. 28 count 2 over 1 10 stitch needleminder by Just to Heavenly, and I'm going to continue on this page with all the black with 100 stitches, hopefully finishing a page. That would be pretty nice. But yeah, this is this one. Really looking forward to this and stitching some more on this one because I really want to get that page finished. So yeah, that will be pretty cool. Okay, next will be on the 27th of March, 1719. Once again, 27th of March, 1790. The shoelace was invented. Theme, shoes, footwear. So I decided to go with Mini Cinderella, and works by Alexandra Daw, charted by Heaven Enough Designs. There are shoes down here, and I mean it's Mini Cinderella. So in the Cinderella fairy tale, shoes, or the shoe, has a very important role. So that's really fitting. So yeah, going with this one. I show you where I'm at. 100 stitches won't get me a whole lot of progress, but any progress is good progress, because if I finish a full coverage piece this year, this will be the one. She stitched on 28 count ice blue even weave, and I'm stitching 1 over 1 full cross, and this is where I'm at. Maybe I'm actually going to stitch with a blend out of blending filament and B5200, and maybe get a page finish. That would be pretty nice. I don't think with 100 stitches that's possible, but it would be pretty nice. So yeah, this is Mini Cinderella. Looking forward to stitching on her as well, and hopefully maybe actually getting a page finish. I really doubt it, but it would be pretty nice. But we'll see about that. Oh, I did not tell you about the needleminder. I think it's from Denke Designs, but this one I'm actually not sure. I think it's Denke Designs. No guarantee on that. I should look that up. Okay, and then the last one. Sorry, I have my tablet over here to actually look up what theme goes with what and everything. I have all my notes over here, so I always have to look down, and that's why it's taking a bit longer from time to time. Okay, last one. On the 28th of March, 1794, Louvre opens to the public. Theme, art, painting. I'm going with the Chimney Sweep by Golden Kite. It does look like an art or painting. Probably all of my full coverage pieces are. And if we're honest, cross-stitching is an art, in my opinion. So basically everything would count. But yeah, I'm going with this one because it reminds me the most of a painting. So yeah, Chimney Sweep by Golden Kite. I show you where I'm at. This one is stitched on a 25 count even weave in blue. The needleminder is from Denke Designs, and I'm stitching 2 over 10 stitch, and I'm stitching this one cross country, extreme cross country. So basically I'm taking or choosing a color that's next up in here, or missing next up in here, and completing it over the whole piece. As the top left corner is just existing out of a whole lot of white, I'm presently on my 5th color, and it's my 5th off-white color, so I'm not sure how much of progress you will be able to see with just 100 stitches. I will try to point out where I stitched on, but I'm honestly not even sure where I'm at presently, so it probably will get complicated with just 100 stitches. But yeah, looking forward to stitching some more. And it's not a whole or a super big piece, so yeah, looking forward to stitching some more. That's it. As I said, no idea how long this video is. It feels like super long. But yeah, that's everything I stitched on, everything I'm going to stitch on. I hope next week will finally be a shorter video once again. It's been a while since I had a short video. But yeah, I'm now going to start cleaning up. And I hopefully will be able to upload this video today. I'm not entirely sure. I will try. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you will have a wonderful week. I'm quite sure I will be back on Monday. So I see you next week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and enjoy your stitching. Bye!